Hello everyone, I'm meteorologist Charlie Ironmonger. Thank you so much for joining me today for your noon news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. Now we've got news again from the stabbing that happened yesterday. A woman is now under arrest and facing a murder charge. Police say 22-year-old Jalea Archer is charged in the death of 26-year-old Jaquavius Suggs. Officials say officers were called to an apartment in the 700 block of Patton Circle for a domestic disturbance. While on the way to the scene, officers learned that one person, later identified as Suggs, was stabbed. Suggs died at the scene. Police say the two were in a dating relationship and lived together at the apartment where the stabbing happened just before 4:30 p.m. And now we want to turn to our reporter in Washington, where the nation's capital crucial vote that is set to occur this week could lay the groundwork for new federal elections workers. WITN's Washington correspondent Stephen Going has more from D.C.
Republicans say this bill is all about securing elections, but Democrats argue it's part of a larger push to disenfranchise voters. The Save America Act now taking center stage in the national debate over election integrity. President Donald Trump urging Republicans to pass the bill, while a majority of Democrats are strongly opposed. The legislation would require citizens to provide documentary proof of U.S. citizenship when registering to vote. But on Capitol Hill, the Democratic Women's Caucus arguing it could disproportionately impact women.
More paperwork, more bureaucracy between women and the ballot box.
The bill requires those who register by mail to later show proof of citizenship in person, something Democrats say could burden caregivers and rural women.
Women could be forced to drive 5 hours round trip just to vote. Working women can't afford to take that time off of work. And by the way, who's going to care for the kids?
Lawmakers also point to the millions of women who have changed their names after marriage as a group that could face additional hurdles. Democrats alleging this.
Under the SAVE Act, if your current name does not exactly fit and match the name on your birth certificate or citizenship papers, you could be blocked from registering to vote.
However, the bill does require states to create processes to resolve document discrepancies. Meanwhile, Republicans argue the legislation would strengthen confidence in elections, ensuring only U.S. citizens are voting.
It eliminates even the appearance of impropriety, even the appearance of fraud or controversy. Why would we be against that?
Now, if this bill advances through the House, it faces a tougher challenge in the Senate, needing 60 votes to pass. In Washington, I'm Stephen Going.
Well, thank you, Stephen, for that report. We now turn to your weather forecast, and rain showers coming down across eastern North Carolina right now, most of which are slowly pushing their way out into the Atlantic. We're not quite to dry weather just yet, but as we head to the afternoon, I do anticipate us drying out as we head towards 2, 3, and 4 p.m. Let's take a look at what we've got outside currently. And again, most of the rain right now around the Pamlico Sound region, extending all the way back towards Duplin, Onslow, Pender, and Jones counties. There is that secondary wave of rain. It seems like a little extreme calling that. A few leftover spot showers. There we go, is a better descriptor of it. The rain showers we're seeing right now across Johnston, Wilson, Wayne, Greene, Edgecombe, Pitt, Martin, and Bertie counties. That's going to mark pretty much the last of the drops. We're not going to be seeing much more once those work their way off the coast. Moving our attention further back towards the west again, not really seeing a whole lot of additional development. So just a few more showers left to go. Of course, we've got to get rid of the raindrops we're seeing across the Crystal Coast. Not quite there yet. Give it another 2 hours and the Crystal Coast will be looking quite a bit drier than what we're seeing right now. Around the Albemarle Sound, again, seeing a decrease in rainfall over the past hour. But here's again another look at what models are suggesting in terms of sky conditions and rainfall exit later on today. By the time we reach around 5 p.m., most of us are going to be looking at dry conditions. Also, during that time period, we will see some breaks in the clouds, giving us some sunshine, something that should help warm us up, maybe a few more degrees on top of what we're seeing outside right now. But tonight into tomorrow morning, we're going to be getting cold again. Just because we got warm last night does not mean we are done with winter. Clear skies as we wake up tomorrow morning will help force air temperatures down into the mid-30s. Some areas may even end up in the low 30s, but for your Thursday, looking at partly to mostly sunny skies. Similar conditions will persist on Friday, albeit a little bit colder. Highs on Friday going to be more in the upper 40s versus the low to mid 50s that we're going to see tomorrow. Right now, most of us are sitting in the upper 50s, a few of us in the low 60s. Again, we could gain a few more degrees on top of what you're seeing outside right now when we get that sunshine out later on this afternoon, but the heating is going to be limited due to the fact it's going to be occurring so late in the day. So if you're hoping for another round of 70-degree heat today, not going to happen. Not going to happen. Northwesterly winds will make sure of that. That northwesterly wind right now coming in generally at around 5 to 10 miles an hour. Elizabeth City is sitting a little bit outside of that range, currently coming in with a 14-mile-per-hour sustained wind out of the north. So for the rest of the day, again, we'll continue to see the rain showers taper off, leaving us with broken clouds and certainly some sun breaks. That should, again, take our air temps into the 61, 62, 63 degree range. And later on this evening, air temperatures will fall. Clear skies plus a northwesterly wind will help push those temps down into the upper 40s by the time we reach 10 and likely into the mid 30s as we wake up tomorrow morning. 34, 35 degrees between 7 and 8 a.m. From there, warming up to near 50 degrees by noon. Some areas will hit the 50-degree mark by noon tomorrow, but we'll certainly get into the colder air mass more so Friday than what we're going to see tomorrow. So the rain showers we're seeing right now tied to a cold front that is going to be bringing in that colder air. That's why we're seeing about a 10-degree drop from today into tomorrow. But we see even colder air get forced into the east because of the presence of that high pressure system. That will push air temperatures down into the upper 40s by the time we reach Friday. So for tomorrow, again, low, some areas may see the mid 50s. Right now, our high right around 52 degrees. Then on Friday, we're at 48 degrees. Note those overnight lows as well, mid to upper 20s for Thursday night as well as Friday night. Now, as we head to the weekend, we are going to see those air temperatures warm up, not just your daytime highs, but your overnight lows as well, getting back above freezing Saturday night and staying above freezing for Sunday night, Monday night, Tuesday night, and most likely Wednesday night as well. Obviously not shown on your 8-day forecast, but next week, if you're hoping for some heat, your wishes may be coming true. 65 degrees Tuesday, 70 by the time we reach next Wednesday. It's going to feel nice, especially after a wet weekend coming up, particularly on Sunday. That's all we have time for today's noon news and weather update from the First Alert Desk. I want to thank you all so much for joining me. We'll be back with more news and weather coming up at the top of the hour. Until then, have a fantastic rest of your Wednesday.